When should you drop out of high school as a teen entrepreneur? That question ran through my mind for months. It was there for months. I didn't know the answer. I was kind of paralyzed because I didn't want to make the wrong decision. And in this video, there's not going to be any video edits. There's not going to be anything, retention optimized. So it's not going to be as fun as watching reels. But what it will do is it will give you the answer you need. And it will basically be the thing that decides whether, you fail in life. Like realistically, this will be the thing. This decision right here is the thing that determines whether you fail in life or whether you succeed, and the extent to which you succeed and the time period of that. So stick around if you have that attention span, if you actually are serious about that goal. So I'm going to talk about it. Let me get into the backstory real quick. Before I tell you about when, let me get into the backstory so you have context. So for me, I make $76,000 a month. I'm 16, or last month. I'm 16 years old. And when I was in high school, and by the way, I haven't really spoken about this publicly. I haven't really publicly said that I actually dropped out. So this is the first time, all right? But when I was in high school, at the start of this year, I went into grade 11 and I wanted to drop out. I said I would drop out at the end of grade 10. I procrastinated on it. I was in grade 11. I went like literally a quarter through grade 11 before I pulled the trigger on it. And it was honestly because my whole family was really against it. And they were like, look, you need to have a backup plan. You need to have a backup option, which it's bullshit because your skill set is your backup option. Realistically, why do you need a degree as a backup? Why do you need that? Why don't you just have a skill set? Let's say you have a good skill set at sales. You can jump on a high ticket closing offer and make money anywhere in the world, and you make more money than what you do at your job. You could get good at paid ads and you could be an affiliate marketer, and sure, you'll make less money, but as long as you know how to make ads, you will make money. Like, you don't need a fucking backup degree bullshit. It's not needed, right? What's needed is for you to get good at skill sets. And this is why, and this is a trap I see for a lot of people like us, young entrepreneurs. It's trying to cheat the system. I see so many people who are trying to cheat the system by making money without having skills. Guys, you cannot make money without having skills. At the start of this year with my business, we were scripting ads for our clients, and I wasn't the best at ad scripts. I'll admit it. And if I tried to cheat that, if I tried to just grow the business without being good at ads, my clients wouldn't have won, my clients wouldn't have succeeded, and I would not be where I am today. I basically had to I literally had to sit down with myself and be like, look, you are not good at ads. We need to get good at ads. How did I do that? I read a fuck ton of books. I have scripted hundreds and hundreds of ads per month, literally. Like, I write upwards of 5 to 10 ads per day. Today I've written 7, I think. Yesterday was 10. Like, I make a ridiculous amount of ads, and this is how I got good at ads. And now I know that this skill set will reward me forever. If I go completely dead broke, I could literally be an affiliate marketer for like a health supplement, and I could make 100K a month easily. Like, it's not that hard, okay? So you need to focus on getting good at skill sets. Anyway, I was in school. I was that person who was always the second best at something. I was never the best at anything in school. I was never the number one. I was always the second best. I was in the second highest maths class. I would get, second highest grade. I would basically just be all right. I would never be at the complete rock bottom where it's like, okay, there's no point of school. But I was never at the top where it's like, okay, yeah, go for it. I was in this weird position where it was basically lukewarm. And so I was lukewarm between school and my business. I wasn't able to go all in on both. And actually, one of my teachers who I was talking to about this was like, look, bro. Well, they didn't say bro, but they said, look, you're not going to get results with either if you're lukewarm, which is so true. You need to go all in on one. What did I go all in on? Obviously, business. Business is what I like to do. Business is what I love. I have such a passion for this. And also, I just know it's what I need to do. So that's what I did. Anyways, so when I decided to make that decision, I'll tell you where I was at. I was making 50K a month. It was my first 50K month in February. I pulled the trigger and I dropped out. And I would say, realistically, looking back, 10K a month, it isn't shit, because realistically, when you make your first 10K a month, it was probably not profit. Like, realistically, you probably profited 3K. So I always just like to say, if you're doing better than the teachers, drop out. Like, if you are making more money than the teachers, you have nothing to learn from them. And so just leave. Like, fuck their opinions and their bullshit. It doesn't even matter. Until then, don't drop out. Like, I had a call with some guy the other day in Sydney. He's like 15 and he was like, I want to drop out. And I was like, how much money do you have? And he was like, $5,000. And I was like, bro, like, you got to get it up a bit, because people want to drop out before they've even mastered themselves. You need to master yourself. When I was in school, and ask anyone I went to school with this, I was sleeping for 3-4 hours a night. I was working in class. I was working all day, every day. I had full mastery myself, which means that when I drop out of school, I'm not just lying around. I literally know people who dropped out of school to go on business, and a few years later, they fizzled out. Like, they don't really do shit. They don't work. They don't make money. They're just kind of like not winning. And that's like a not good scenario to be in. You don't want to be that person. So you want to be the person who has mastery over yourself and who can, when they make that decision to drop out, quit. Guys, let me tell you about my last day of school. Shit was crazy. I went to school knowing I wanted to drop out, and I went to the careers teacher, and he told me I need to go to the office. I went to the office. I spoke to this lady that I'd never seen before, and she gave me this form, and the form had to get signed by every single teacher that I had. And so that day was basically me going to all my teachers and giving them the form to drop out. And it was the most awkward day ever because my teachers, like, teachers are really judgmental people. And when you go to them as someone who was the second best, who they were like, yeah, you'll get good grades, you'll get a good job, blah, blah, blah. It's a weird experience when they're like, you want to drop out? And they're just like, it's so awkward. Some of them like were really not willing to sign it. Like they didn't want me to go. And some of them were just straight up like annoyed, like literally annoyed that I was kind of winning and that I was leaving. And I had to get the signature from every single one. Then I got the signature from the principal, who's a G. Like he was a nice guy, and he gave it the all clear. And after getting it signed by all my teachers, the principal, not the prime minister, it is 12:30 a.m. So I'm a bit tired. But after getting his signature, I then like stayed for like a couple lessons just to like kind of enjoy. I wasn't really working. It was pretty good of a feeling because I had assignments due that day, which I didn't do because once again I was working hard. I didn't have time for school, and yeah. Anyways, so I went to those classes, and then all of a sudden it was lunchtime. So I was kind of just hanging out with, not I wouldn't call them friends, but people from school at lunch, and then at the end of the lunch, I basically dabbed everyone up and then I just left, which was a funny way to go. And that walk home was crazy. Like the walk home was insane. My brain was just like in complete overdrive, just thinking. I was like it was the realest thoughts ever. Like, trust me, you're going to experience this. When you walk home from school, it's like, shit, I got to make it work. Shit, I got to make it happen. Like, shit, what the fuck happens if I fail this? Like, I got to go all in. And the first month after dropping out, I was locked in. You know, I was so locked in that I kind of burnt out and I kind of fell off for a little bit. Like I wasn't fully back, but now I'm back. Like my energy lately has been so on point. I don't know where it came from, but the biggest thing I feel like for making money is just like you need to have the feeling. You need to have the feeling that you're onto something. You need to have the full confidence that you're getting somewhere. And then it doesn't even matter about the best routine and like waking up at 5. Guys, I woke up at like 12 o'clock and I went to bed at 4 a.m. Or not 12, it was more like, I don't know, 11 a.m. I went to bed at 4. Like that's the type of hustle you get, and that's the type of drive you get, and you don't even mind. You're just happy. I'm so happy with where I'm at right now and where the direction I'm headed that it's just a good feeling. Anyways, that's that. And yeah, like I would say though, for you, like, bro, you need to be making more than your teachers. I don't, whatever country you're in, if you're in a country where the teachers make, 3K a month, make more than 3K a month, leave. They have nothing to teach you because they don't make more money than that. And then when you get to that level, leave. And it's important because you can't just like, oh, I want to leave because I have a dream. It's like, bro, sure you have a dream, but like you probably had a lot of dreams in your life that you failed. You probably wanted to be an astronaut when you were younger, and that didn't happen either. You need to actually have the proof of concept. Even like ask people from my school when we went on the school ski trip. This is a funny story. I haven't shared this before. When we went on the school ski trip last year, I was in a cabin with like 7 other people, and I was working till 3 a.m. and then we were waking up at 6 a.m. to go ski because we were like an hour away from the slopes. So we had to drive there in a bus and everything, and literally like, I was working for every single minute that we were in the cabin. And people were getting annoyed because it was complete pitch black in the room because obviously people didn't want lights on. And then in the corner of the room where my bed was, you could just see like my laptop light and you could just hear typing all night because I was working. Because I just had so much stuff to do. And that's also the other reason I dropped out of school. It's like this feeling you get. And you might be like able to convince yourself that you have the feeling. But it's this overwhelming feeling where you literally just sit and you have the worksheet, the work paper in front of you. You're just like, what the fuck is this? Like, what am I here, like, writing about some bullshit, like, rock geology and, like, maths equations. And you're just sitting there and you're just like, what am I even doing this for? Like, I should be working right now. I have so much stuff to do. I have clients to respond to. I have all these different things to do. What am I doing filling out this paper? And it got to a point where I just couldn't do it. I was sitting there. I was just like, this is such bullshit, man. Like, I would not work in any lesson because I just couldn't put myself to do it. It was literally like a self-humiliation ritual. You know, one of my teachers literally would have a rule where I was the only one who wasn't allowed on my laptop because she knew that I was working and I worked every time because I just couldn't do it. You know, I just couldn't put myself through it. It's just this feeling you get, and it's even the same now. The way I dropped out of school was this thing called TAFE, where I was doing online schooling for an hour a day to get a backup option. I don't do that anymore. I just don't like show up to it because anytime I sit down, it's like, okay, get a parent or guardian to do an interview with you about XYZ. And it's like an assignment. It's just like, this is bullshit. Like, I can't do it. I'm not going to sit down and do this. It's just straight bullshit. Like, don't do stuff that doesn't make you money. And the key takeaways I want you to have from this video is number one, when you make more than the people teaching you, you're more qualified than them, leave. And number two, when you get that overwhelming feeling, just stop doing the work. Like, realistically speaking, if you've gotten to a point where you're making good money, you don't even need the school. You know, you just need a good skill set. And so if you leave school, block out time every day to learn. You need to learn and you need to get good at what you do. If you get good at what you do, you're more qualified than anyone. Now I make 7, 8, 9 teachers' salaries a month. Like, it speaks for itself, you know? So that's what I'd say. Subscribe for more videos. I'm kind of just breaking down the journey and breaking down how I do it. You know, I'm not really super committed to this right now in terms of like getting editing, getting crazy thumbnails and stuff. Right now, guys, I'm just like putting it out there. And then in the future, when I do have the time to blow up my personal brand, these will be here documented because right now we're in a very busy stage with the business where we have some insane plans. Like we literally have 10 ad creative scripted in the last, day, like, and then another lot yesterday. Like we have an insane amount of stuff going on in the business. So subscribe to watch me kind of go along this journey and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.